Hello everyone, back again with me, Ibrahim Hanif, your host in FITV Asia, and I'm here with Mr. Lawrence. And I'm going to ask him a couple of questions about his company and his products. So, Mr. Lawrence, I want to ask you something though. First question, can you tell me a bit more about your company?
Yeah, sure, I can. Our company, Meat Proteins DCP, is a young, dynamic, innovative company founded in 2008, starting as a supplier of bovine collagen. In 2012, we built our own facility in the Netherlands, in the north of the Netherlands, and we are specialized in the production of high-functional bovine collagen. Our process is quite an innovative, patented process, in which we produce our raw materials and extract our protein on a low temperature. So we have quite an innovative process to extract the proteins.
What do you mean about extracting the proteins? Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Sure. The extraction is we buy raw materials, so slaughter byproducts of the tannery industry. They call it split hides, bovine split hides, and we grind that and extract the collagen, which is in the connective tissue. We extract that out of the raw materials and turn that into a fine powder.
Okay, nice. Next question though, do you think Indonesia is a good marketplace?
Yeah, absolutely. Our proteins is mainly developed for the meat processing industry. However, there's also some other applications in other fields like dairy and cheese analogs, in which our protein can also play a role. So yeah, as I said, especially the meat market is quite fast developing in Indonesia, and our protein can play a big role in that. So our protein provides texture, cost efficiency, cooking yields, juiciness, quality improvement. So there's really a big range of application areas for our proteins, especially in the meat market for Indonesia, in applications like meatballs, sausages, beef patty, and so on and so on.
It's actually a really good idea, since the majority of people here in Indonesia really love meat. Like there's a lot of food, Indonesian food that involve meat, like bakso. Have you ever heard of bakso? Yes. Like it's a meatball.
Yes, correct.
And bakmi, there's a little bit of chunk of meat in there. Almost all food in here contains meat in it. So I think it's a really good idea, sir. But since you're here in FI Asia right now, at Expo Kemayoran, can you tell me about your first impressions towards this event?
Well, I'm really surprised of the scale of this event. I have heard that compared to the last edition, there's a 40% growth of the exhibitors here. All big companies, all international, multinationals are here. And it's just amazing to see what the dynamic shows in the market. So yeah, I'm quite happy. We had good leads, a good show. For me, it's the first time in Indonesia, really the first time. As we just mentioned before the interview, I had the opportunity to eat the local dishes, the bami ayam, in which is also the meatballs. And yeah, it's really a growing market, and not only for Indonesia, but also the attraction from other countries around.
Sure, of course.
So our protein play a big role in the market need. We have halal certified proteins, no additive. It's also playing a role in the demand of clean label. No additives, so we are halal, MUI halal certified. We are FSSC 22000 certified, so we have all the standards for the market to be successful in Indonesia.
Sure. That's absolutely brilliant, because most of the people here in Indonesia is also Muslims. So we always go for halal products. So since your company providing halal meat, I think it will be absolutely wonderful in here in Indonesia. But since you were telling me about your experience, your company and stuff, have you ever been to another food and beverage exhibitions?
Yeah, absolutely. I recently started my new job at Meat Proteins DCP. Before that, I worked for another company and participated in many other exhibitions from the FIA. In Bangkok, I was in the FIC in Shanghai, but also in the Food Ingredients Europe, of course, which is a main exhibition in Europe for the food, actually worldwide for the food ingredients.
So, what makes FI Asia event different than any other food and beverage event?
Well, the dynamics, as I said, it's an area of the world where there's the most of the population is in this part of the world, and the dynamics and the development in the markets is just tremendous. So we can make a difference here. In Europe, it's more a saturated market. In Asia, there's a really big developing market, and people are really interested to know the new stuff in the industry and to develop their own innovations. And that's what it's all about. It's innovating, innovative, and be different than.
Of course, I'm totally agree with you. Be innovative, right? But what do you hope to achieve from this event?
Well, I hope to achieve a better presence and visibility in the market, not only for Indonesia. Of course, that's the main perspective for being here at the FI Indonesia, but also to attract other potential leads and customers from countries around, like Vietnam, Thailand, South Korea, and so on, Malaysia, Singapore. So we had quite an interesting number of leads from this show, from other than Indonesia. So yeah.
So it's all about exposure then, getting the exposure, since exposure is really important for every company, including food company, right? Since the audience watching us right now, there's a lot of people actually watching us doing this interview. Do you have something to say to the audience?
Well, the only thing is what I want to say is just come out here and join the FIE, either as exhibitor or visitors.
Yeah.
But come out, explore the show, look at all the great stuff around, and as I said before, be innovative and let's heading for the future.
Since I mean, there's plenty of things to see, plenty of things to eat, plenty of things to taste, right? And lastly though, can you tell them the location of your booth? So probably the audience is interested that can visit your booth.
Yes, so the location of my booth is Hall D, D1 M32.
Okay. So if you are a really a meat lover, you love anything involved meat, you can visit his booth. Can you repeat that one more time, the location of your booth?
D1 M32.
D1 M32. Okay, right, nice. Thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence. Thank you for your time, okay? Don't go anywhere because after this there will be a lot of interview only on FI TV Asia.